dude. Just kind of playing your beats, talking about you a bit, getting people ready.
Oh, hell yeah. Appreciate
Dude,
it.
you must be stoked, man, tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yo, I heard
Hell
that
yeah.
accent. Where are you from?
I'm from Wisconsin.
No way. Hey,
What the fuck? Where are you from?
I'm from Wisconsin.
You live in Wisconsin?
I did. I moved to Orlando a few years ago, but I'm from Milwaukee.
That's a trip.
Yeah,
What
dude.
is
Where are
it
you
called?
at?
Appleton.
Hell yeah. I had a few good friends in Appleton.
What a
I grew up
small
playing.
fucking world.
Yeah, man, that's sick. That's sick. I did not know. I heard you I heard you say stoked and I was like, this is one of my people right
Yeah, for sure.
here.
So I
But yeah,
noticed.
dude, I'm super excited. I've been a producer for almost a decade now, and always producing for other people. I've never really had the, I never really seek to sing on my songs, but over time and being around people, and I had ideas for myself, and I wanted to start putting them down, and this is the first one. So
Yeah, I noticed because I checked out your Spotify and it seems like you kind of have more been like a behind the scenes producer making beats. Some of them instrumental, other ones you got rappers kind of rapping over it and stuff.
yeah,
That's none of those guys are you, right?
no,
That's
there's a couple on there that I just started releasing. Thought to with my homie Drex. We every year we go and venture out somewhere desolate like the mountains or something, and we kind of just tune out all the noise and create whatever comes to mind. And this last one, Thought to, was the first time I got on the track. But beyond that, no, hundreds of songs that I've made for others. I'm in a band called See You Soon. Um, and I produce and engineer everything for them with my buddy Iggy. And just like through that, it's like whether it's giving ideas for harmonies or lyrics. I actually grew up never really listening to lyrics, so that's the biggest hurdle right now, which is pretty interesting. So I was just listening to how things are said or like um, the vibe over everything.
like the
So
cadence of the words and how they go with the song more like than what they actually mean.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
I can
Like
understand that.
some of like my favorite music. Like I'm a huge fan of like early 2000s screamo or like post rock stuff, alternative stuff, and like Circus Survive. I don't know if you know who they are, but um, I still don't know a lot of the lyrics to those songs, and I've heard them well over a few hundred times. So just sort of goes to show what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected you to have those kind of influences with the way your music sounds, to be honest with you.
I know, I know. It's like what I listen to in my off time. So I either make crazy off the wall shit or super chill. I'm alone in my room shit, and I'm trying to get the best of both worlds. I'm pretty close, pretty close.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed with your new song, it's and one thing that's really cool about it is it's just really unique. It's kind of hard to place a finger on what genre you would call it. You know what I mean?
I've been trying. My friend Drex actually he yells at me pretty much daily about me trying to figure out what to call it or what it is, and he's just like, dude, just release it and let the people figure it out, you know. But
I I
yeah,
think
all of it. I don't know where it comes from, and it sort of stems from um, I have a push. I use an Ableton push, so all the melodies you hear and the little snippets that you've heard, it's all played on my push, and I make all the synths. That's sort of how I got into production, is just sound synthesis and stuff like that. And um, yeah, I don't know, man. It kind of takes me to another place, and that's kind of the goal with what I want to do with my music, is have people kind of, whether it's escape or just kind of go into their own place mentally. I want to
it's
be
kind of
a vessel for that.
it's otherworldly sounding. It takes you
Hell yeah.
to it takes you away from when you imagine, because songs sometimes you like when you listen to them and you imagine like kind of the place it puts you in, right? A lot of times it's like relatable physical literal place or like a situation like a breakup or whatever. But with this song, it's more like you go to a fucking galaxy when you listen to it, and it's not like a tangible idea behind it. It's kind of almost mystical feeling.
That's awesome, man. I love to hear that.
Yeah. I really have appreciated watching you. You're like kind of like your whole the way you're promoting the song, like you treating it like a baby, and just like really like you know what I mean. It's kind of like an intelligent thing that you're doing with the way you're marketing the song and the way you're placing such importance on it, because in order for other people to understand that a work of art is important, the first person that it has to be important to is the artist themselves, I think.
No doubt,
So
man. I
yeah,
appreciate that.
so by putting it out there over and over again, I don't know if anybody's told you that it's whack or something like that, but it's definitely not. It's just
No,
showing.
yeah, I gotta tell myself that constantly. But I actually haven't gotten many of those. I see those on other people's stuff. I've gotten overwhelming support and love for it, which has been amazing to see. I just made this TikTok account like 3 4 weeks ago. It was the first sound I put out, um, and just uh, yeah, it resonated with a bunch of people. Someone, the whole like the Adventure Time thing. Um, Someone commented like, "Yo, this reminds me of Adventure Time," and then I put it in one of the videos, and yeah, that was the first one that kind of just popped off, and it was, I feel like just kind of captured this entire Adventure Time crew, and I was like, hell yeah, like yo, you guys fucking rock, like, let's go.
Yeah,
Um, and it's just one of those things where it kind of deepens what you were saying before, like going to like another place, just like their own little galaxy, and that's kind of what I want to achieve through my music too. So a lot of like what I'm gonna be um, releasing is very, very. I wouldn't say it's like gamey, but it's like I grew up on that kind of shit anyway. So it's like that it's just that feeling of like you kind of go somewhere else. So like that is kind of the whole mission there, and I've kind of combined whether it's like guitars or other real instruments where it kind of just still has this like floaty, otherworldly kind of vibe to it that I really, really resonate with. So having you say like what you said, that gets me super fucking hyped. So I love
I'm
that,
glad.
man.
Yeah, just I think that it's just kind of the vibe of the song overall, and I'm not the only person that feels that way about it. I'm interested in seeing what the reception of it will be tomorrow after you hyping it up so much. I'm sure it's gonna go well and get a lot of streams the first day, and just go from there. Get added to Adventure Time playlists, whatever.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping for the best. I got a lot of work starting at midnight tonight to do. It's the first block, so I'm treating it like it's the first block to the wall that I'm building, and I have so much that I'm ready to unravel. It's just this one kind of cement that vibe around my page for people to kind of like, and I just have so much more to unveil. So I think starting tomorrow I'll probably just start showing like a bunch of different sounds, and um, kind of just go from there, man. Kind of build the world more. I don't like to look into um, like what you said earlier, like following like the trends or like doing like TikTok things. I don't know. That could be a disservice to myself, but at the same time, like it kind of is a cool opportunity to build something of my own. So I get excited for that.
I think that there's a lot of people on here that are musicians who are resentful of like the fact that they like supposedly have to follow trends, post like get creative and be like a TikToker or whatever with how they are sharing their art with people. And I think that you're kind of living proof that that's not true. That you just have to do things like in a sustainable, cohesive way where people can understand it, and that you find the right people. And because you're posting the song over and over again and just kind of explaining it and talking about it, it's cohesive, so people don't get confused, and like the people who like you, it's only one thing that you've been talking about. It's a song, so they're not going to get thrown off by you doing some other random thing because you're trying to follow trends or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like an eye-opening thing, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to interview you, is because I think more artists need to see that and understand it, because I literally see people making videos and complaining about, and I'm pretty sure I've done it too, about the whole following trends thing and how it's kind of bullshit and how they don't want to do it. And it's like, well, then don't. You ever thought about that?
Yeah.
Don't do
Don't.
it. You know what I
Definitely
mean?
don't. Um,
And
yeah, go ahead, go
yeah,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, you kind of found a hack with. It's still a TikToky thing because it's a 7 second clip. It's not the whole song. Kind of reels people in, and that in that way, since it's like short attention span, kind of people are just scrolling through. Like, yeah, you did the 7 second thing, so people don't have to sit there and pay attention, and they can be like, oh, and decide they like it within that small amount of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. And then you get to go from there. That's your opening, like you said, the first brick to the thing you're building. And as long as you build around that brick and it's cohesive and makes sense to that first brick you made, you're good. You got this.
No doubt, man. And I it's a learning experience still too. I'm kind of still learning like what if like I see living proof of some of my friends who get like crazy first day plays on songs and stuff like that, and I'm wondering where it'll kind of evolve. Where is TikTok going to be something more than a 5 second glimpse of something of interest where you're just scrolling, or is it something where it'll become more of like you're interested in like pages and you kind of check out the whole thing that they're doing, whether like, do you get what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to figure out uh if it's just a proponent that builds for other things, or if it really is something where it's like the foundation and everything else falls from it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Um, yeah, sort of. To me, I think that one of the things that we need to get caught up, or that artists need to remember in this day and age, and that I think we're isn't being talked about very often, is like platforms come and go.
Yes.
Your
And
art is,
this is a exclamation point to that for sure.
yeah, like, and as long as it's just a way to get people to see you, just like YouTube or TikTok, or excuse me, YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or anything else. But for me, the thing that's cool about TikTok is it actually does promote your growth and wants you to grow, as compared to a lot of these apps seem to want like you to pay for it because they see that it's a marketing thing and they can take advantage of that. And
Yeah, man. I uh I just get so excited where just how quickly it found people that like what I'm making. Before before I made the account, it was one of those things where like I was making all this music just for myself purely. Like I was still making music for other people, um, and doing stuff with See You Soon. And like we just got off a tour this fall. We just did a Across the Nation tour, and
I,
it's like I'm doing all these crazy things, and I'm making this music when I'm just chilling, and it's like um, I didn't know if there was going to be a crowd out there for it. I know it sounds silly, but like it's just I just didn't really know what to do with it, and I made a TikTok one day, and the people came forth. So I'm super grateful for that, and like being able to do this just off of um, like a 8 second clip of a song is incredible. So I'm hyped.
yeah, I'm hyped for you. I'm excited for the song to drop tomorrow, and to see where you go from there. Really,
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, how did you like? I want to ask like, how did you come across it, or like, what was the first video that you saw?
I think it was the Adventure Time one, like you said,
Nice.
yeah. And I just liked the song, and I was just like, just sounds really weird. And I like experimental electronic music. Like that's kind of like my thing. Like I'm really into like Boards of Canada and like Aphex Twin and like Crystal Castles and
Yeah,
shit like that.
totally.
And you have that vibe going on where it's experimental music. It's the kind of music I like. So I instantly was like, yeah, I'll follow this guy. And then once I got the idea to interview people, you're one of the first people I thought of. And I knew your song was coming out March 1st too, so I was like, I should get on it before the song drops.
Hell yeah. I think I where I'm being experimental with this stuff is like in the melodies. So because I get really weird with my other music when it comes to like texture and like chord progressions and stuff like that. I love just trying to make something that I've never heard. I've always veered away from like just normal chord progressions or like that feeling of like familiarity. I've really just always tried to make left field stuff that is like new and exciting to me. And what what I've been making for myself, it's like I'm having the synths or guitar kind of speak for me in a way. Just kind of going back to like how I don't really care what the lyrics say. It's kind of just more about the cadence of it all, and like learning more and more about singing and how I can kind of like intertwine the two is really cool to me. I'm an Ableton nerd. I'll go down rabbit holes of like affecting one particular thing for like 3 hours, and you see all the memes online where it's like, I don't know, it's just a super common thing that happens, but through doing those kind of things, I'll get crazy artifacts that I'll use in other songs, and then it keeps building, and it kind of just morphs into like its own like sound in a way, and I love that kind of stuff. You said like Aphex Twin, or like Burial is another one, or like I'm a huge Flying Lotus fan. I I come from like the SoundCloud world back in like 2013, 14, 15. At like its height, I was in that shit. So um, lots of like experimental, very experimental, just whether it's um, I don't know, man, just like exploiting sound as much as you can, just seeing what happens. That's kind of what that age was, where it was like, if I just clip the song at like plus 12, something is going to happen where if I put a limiter on it, it's like you get all these artifacts that you wouldn't otherwise find. Or like, I love just like going to places that like the book wouldn't go to. So, um, yeah, man, experimental all day.
Yeah, and I like it because it's like all these songs that bring you to like down to earth, to like human, I don't know, I guess like like just human emotions and situations. Like that's cool and all, but like sometimes it's nice to be able to escape Earth through the music and go somewhere
Yeah.
else.
And
And that's
I'm trying to find that, and I've been trying to find just that gap there where it can be very experimental, but you can kind of tiptoe across back and forth where it can be kind of familiar, but at the same time it's its own thing.
totally. I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah, that's great. What do you think is like the next step for what you want to do with this like project of yours and like this new approach that you have?
Yeah, man, I got a 6 month plan going on right now that I'm kind of just in the process of. I'm gonna be starting to post more songs that I'm working on. I have like 25 demos right now, and I'm kind of just narrowing down to like either like 5 or 6, and I'm gonna release an EP at the end of April is the plan. Release another one here in a couple weeks to build that up, and I have I'm pushing myself as a human out of my content as much as I can, and I'm this will be yeah, this is news to only you. I haven't really told anyone this, so I'm building out like an entire world, working with 2 visual artists, and I just kind of want like visualizers where my music can pair with it. So I'm a huge fan of games, and I wanted to start with like Game Boy kind of graphics. So I want to have I'm creating a character, and I'm gonna just start kind of just building out worlds where I can put my music on it, and these characters kind of grow with my music. And over time, I swear to God, it's gonna turn into like its own little game or something. But uh, I want that to keep building into something where um, I have this. It's this little guy. He's like a little destroyer, and he rides a star. And I think it's gonna be fucking awesome. I'm so hyped. I mean, that's all I can say.
That's sick, dude. I'm hyped for it, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's I'm
Yeah,
super
it
super
makes sense.
excited.
It fits with your what you're doing so well.
Hell yeah. It
And
it's yeah. Go ahead.
no, it's just it opens up the whole subject of like being an artist and like okay, like the influencer thing, like you're expected to be an influencer and like be a face. And like there's so many artists that I've always respected where they don't even consider themselves and their art like the same thing. They're separate entities. And like they don't want to be associated with their art at all. Like don't look at me. I'm not my art. My art is my art. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what you're saying. And the way you have this package for it is brilliant, dude. I think that's going to work amazingly for you. And hold on to that vision because that's an amazing vision. And I know for a goddamn fact it's going to go great for you. I know it. It's
Thank
because
you,
it's a
man.
cool idea, man. And nobody else has done that yet. It's your idea.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm crazy hyped. It's definitely something where I've kind of said it for a very long time, and I'm just totally committing at this point. So I have a couple amazing visual artists that I'm working with, and we're just getting started. And I just have this grandiose plan that I feel like it's just going to sort of turn into its own world, for lack of a better word. But I think it'll grow into where whether I do like little nylon characters or like keychains or if it's merch or but it'll all stem from this place that like what you were saying before where it kind of felt like um it's just this kind of vibe that you can't really put your finger on and I fucking strive for that shit. So like I want to be able to put something visually in the listener's head where it's like you can go there with me so we're all on the same page. It's like it's its own world that I'm kind of building. And yeah, man, I get so excited about that.
Yeah, no, it's great. And yeah, I don't even really know what to say other than like uh it sounds like it's gonna work out for you. And
Thanks, man.
yeah, to have that creative vision and that just it's like really that's one of the things about being an artist and living in this day and age or just really at any point in history, but you have to package it and put it in a give it context and make it make sense to people so that
For
they
sure.
like it and feel it relates to them. I don't know. And the way you've already promoted yourself with talking about kind of like being from this gamer culture and people kind of say it reminds them of that vibe. That's such like it's like you've already been buttering people up for the next step. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in a weird way, for sure. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So I'm excited for that. And what are some of your influences? Like I know you said you got some far out influences as far as like heavier music and stuff like that. But when it comes to this lighter, whatever the hell you want to call it, this new song that you have that you're about to drop tomorrow.
Yeah,
What are you said some of your influences? You said like Flying Lotus.
for sure.
What was the Burial? Was that the other one? Because I've never heard of that
A lot,
artist
yeah,
before.
Burial Sick. A big one too. I I have all these like tucked artists. There's this dude Gray Hat who is so cool. I love Gray Hat. He was just this really low key internet guy. He was very anonymous. He never posted like anything. I found him on SoundCloud a long time ago, and he had a pretty decent following, but like he didn't do any promo, like none at all. And to this day, like I have all this stuff saved on my SoundCloud. He has some stuff on Spotify. He kind of put them all in like a bundle album, but like it's like he doesn't want to be known. But Um, Gray Hat. Check out Gray Hat. Gray Hat stuff is really cool. Flying Lotus, of course. I grew up with like I was there in the early like Monty Booker stages and like Harris Cole and like Hudson Mohawk, all these dudes who were just really pushing the envelope on like normal um, like structure and like just vibes I didn't find anywhere else. And then that's one section. I love dance music. Um, all over the place with that. I don't even know where to begin. Love K Tronada. Um, like Ross from Friends. A lot of like the future classic crowd, like Flume and all them. Um, and yeah, I'm a drummer. I grew up being a drummer, so I started with like pop punk, early 2000s, like Blink-182 and shit like that, and then I have two older brothers, so whatever they were listening to, I'd listen to, and it just kept getting more and more hardcore. And as I got better at drumming, I wanted to learn harder and harder songs, so went all the way to like death metal grindcore, and I took a step back. But like Under Oath, one of my favorite bands, um, Circus Survived, Fall of Troy, um,
Oh, Troy, I really like.
love Fall of Troy, man. Early like Devil Wears Prada, uh, all kinds of stuff. But there's a there's an element there too that I've always tried to that like post kind of like emo sound. Um, I feel like it's kind of like black and white in a way where it's either you go like full emo or you just can't even like enter that realm. And I say fuck that. I can be emo in any way I want, and whether it's through like synths or I always say it to some of my friends where like some of this new like there's this cool crowd of like hip hop singing kids doing very very like early 2000s like emo kind of melodies with their vocals, and it's like if it's like they don't wear it on their sleeve, but like if you brought up any of the bands I just mentioned, they'd be like, oh shit dude, yeah, like that's all I listened to when I was a kid. Or like um I don't know, I just found all these like closet fans of like hardcore music or like emo music from back in the day that like isn't really being talked about, and I want to be a vessel in like the resurgence of that entire time of like Postal Service or like Death Cab for Cutie or um, yeah, just kind of like stuff like that. I don't know if you know any of the names that I just said, but
Oh, I do. I know Postal Service and Death Cab for Cutie and a lot of the other ones that you mentioned. Not all of them, but it makes sense in context. And yeah, I think that you definitely got some knowledge there and have a lot of really good influences when it comes to like and it makes sense to I'm glad I asked in context to where like you got your sound from like as far as your influences and some of those names like that Gray Hat guy and stuff. I've never heard of them before, and I'm sure it'll be really cool to check them out and listen to their music because it sounds like it's right up my alley. So that's really cool.
yeah, I I learned drums through just listening to songs, and I think that kind of uh, conditioned me to be able to like pick things out in a song. I didn't know it, but I think it did. And I'll pick like these moments where, or if it's like a transition even, and there'll just be a feeling where it'll like bleed into the rest of the song where I'll just grow to love the entire song because of that moment. It's like this little spark of genius that people will do. And for whatever reason, I don't know where it comes from, where it'll speak to me or it'll speak to you, or those kind of little things are what I feel are like so um, individual and artistic in a way, where it kind of separates you from that like normalcy that I keep bringing up. And Gray Hat is super good at that. Like Flying Lotus was super good at that. And yeah, I just feel like those kind of moments are very much like a spark in the moment as an as a producer or an artist where you just do it because it felt right, and it's like those are the things you got to get down in the program, because those aren't coming from anywhere else but your brain. So um, I live for that shit, and I try to remember that as much as I can. I love little things like that.
The little tricks in the hat that you can pull out.
Yeah, without going too far. I've gone too far many, many times, but being able to like have it be smooth, but also like a smooth finesse.
Yeah, I think you did a good job with the new song of it being like experimental, different, and strange and sort of unfamiliar, but yet familiar enough where it's like people like it. And if I were to put a name of genre on it, since it's kind of hard, I would just say it's like a pop song, which is
Nice.
weird because it sounds it's so weird. But I think
Yeah.
the best term for it is like a pop song because it does sound like one to me. But I'm also interested to hear the whole song because I've only been hearing these little seconds, 7
Yeah,
seconds.
I'm super excited for you to hear it too, man. There is a big section of it that no one's heard yet, so I'm very excited. I love another thing, Rat-a-tat, huge influence for me.
They're awesome.
I love Rat-a-tat. I would listen to them for like an entire day. Like I'd play games all day, and I'd have just their entire discography playing for like fucking 12 hours, and it was amazing. And that's like where I want to get, just that
I
like,
kind of remember those days. I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah. And they they are like such a good example of like what I'm saying, where like I did not like all of Rat-a-tat at one point. I think even in the beginning, um, my friend showed me a song, and it was just weird and different, and he's like, "Isn't this shit sick?" I'm like, I mean, it's dope, but and then I don't know, it was like a week later I looked up the song again, and then I just started to really like it, and I was like, let me check out some more stuff, and then yeah, the rest is history. But I what they did so masterfully is their songs would have like big sections, so it'd be like almost three songs in one, where like the song would start here but it would end here, like a totally different vibe. um and I just loved how much they would like go in and out of different places within one song. Like their structures were super interesting, so I always carried that with me, where there'd always be like another moment in the song. It's not just like intro, verse hook. I don't do any of that kind of shit, but it's like there's moments throughout, and it kind of is just this like ever growing sequence of stuff.
So we get to look forward to some of these moments in the
No
song.
doubt,
That
man. No doubt.
yeah,
I hope it resonates with you. I hope it resonates with other people, and that's all I can ask for. It's the first one that's coming out, and I got a lot more to show. So
I really appreciate you coming on the show. And it was good talking to you. It's kind of crazy. You're both from Wisconsin, and
yeah,
a
I'm
lot
wearing
of
the Wisconsin shirt too. Fire.
yeah, that's pretty weird. A lot of similarities too, as far as influences and just the way you look at music. So that's cool, man. It's cool to have a conversation with you and to introduce myself. I'm Bloth Arkeem. How do you say your name again?
Kkami.
Kikami? Okay, gotcha. So it's like Kikami. All right.
Yes.
I was
What
wondering
what's
if like
up? What's your name? I didn't even catch your name.
Bloth Arkeem.
Bloth Arkeem. What is up, dude?
Yeah, it
Thank
was
you
nice
very
to meet.
much.
Yeah, and I'll check out the song tomorrow and be well and keep your vibes gated.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Peace.
Peace. Thanks for coming on the show with us, everyone, too, as well. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Bye.